Okay, this is a mini lesson over how to graph inequalities. For example, x is less than or equal to 7. Okay, this will review the open and the closed circle. Okay, so if we'll review our signs, this first one here is the less than symbol. Okay, you read from left to, ooh, I shouldn't do that because that's going to look like a less than or equal to, and I don't want to do that. So this symbol right here is the less than. You read from left to right. This is the small side to the bigger side, so less than. This one's the greater than. You read from left to right, and it's the bigger side to the smaller. That's how you can remember it. This one here, less than or equal, so we've added the equal sign. Half is an equal sign, actually. And then the last one is the greater than or equal. Okay, so let's look at some examples. Okay, first this is actually, I've given you an equation because I wanted to refresh your memory on how to graph an equation and the difference between graphing an equation versus an inequality. Okay, so if I look at this, I have 5 plus x is equal to 7. If it's an equation, then this side has to be the exact same as this side. Both of them have to be equal to 7. So whatever x is, it has to equal 7 when I add it to 5. Okay, so if I solve this by subtracting 5 from both sides, we find that x is equal to 2. That is the only thing x could be equal to. So we would graph that with a closed circle. That is the only solution to this equation. X cannot be equal to anything else, because if I make x 3, then now this left side is equal to 8 and the right side is equal to 7, and they would not be balanced. Okay, so x is equal to 2, and that's it. Okay, that's not the case when I give you an inequality. So in this case, now I have 5 plus x is less than 7. Okay, so this side has to be less than 7. It could be equal to 6, it could be equal to 5, it could be equal to 4, whatever, as long as it's smaller than 7. Okay, so we're still going to solve it the same way. We'll still subtract 5, but our solution is going to be x is less than 2, not equal to 2. It's got to be less than 2. So to graph that, we're going to find 2 and we're going to put an open circle. It's an open circle because it does not include 2. 2 does not work for this inequality. Okay, and then I'm going to decide, okay, so I need the values where x is less than 2. So I'm going to just try some points here. Let's say I try the 3. If I put a 3 here for x, is 3 less than 2? No. So I know I'm not going to go to the right. I'm going to try, let's say, a 1. And is 1 less than 2? Yes. So if I plotted that point and I tried another one just to make sure, let's try 0. Is 0 less than 2? Yes. So all of these numbers to the left of 2 are going to satisfy this solution. So my line is going to go to the left, and I'm going to have an open circle on 2 because 2 does not satisfy this inequality. Okay, let's look at another example. X is greater than 8. So all of my values for x have to be larger than 8. Okay, so I'm going to go to my line. I'm going to put an open circle on 8 because 8 does not satisfy this. If I put an 8 here, 8 is not greater than 8. It's equal to 8, so I can't use 8. That's why my circle is open. Okay, but if I try to 7, is 7 greater than 8? No, we know it's going to have to go towards the right. 9 is bigger than 8, 10 is bigger than 8, and so forth. So my line is going to go to the right. Okay, all right, let's try another, or let's review. So if I have the less than symbol or the greater than symbol, you're always going to graph your solution using an open circle, shown here in the green. So for example, x is greater than 3. I have an open circle on the 3, and all of the numbers to the right of 3 are larger than 3. So those are my arrow is going to go to the right. Okay, on the other side, now we're going to look at one where our circle is actually closed. Okay, I'm going to fill in that circle there. This always occurs when you have the less than or greater, the less than or equal symbol or the greater than or equal symbol. Okay, so if I give you kind of the same problem except I change it a little bit, so x is greater than or equal to 3, my solution now includes 3. If I put a 3 here for x, that is true because of this equal part. So my circle is now closed. 3 is a solution for this inequality, as 4, 5, and so forth. So my line is still going to the right, but now my circle is closed. Okay, let's look at x is less than or equal to a negative 3. Okay, if I review back these symbols, has the greater than or less than or equal to, so it's going to be a closed. So I'm going to go to my number line, go to negative 3. The solution is going to include a negative 3. If I put a negative 3 here, that does work. Negative 3 is equal to a negative 3. So my circle is closed. Okay, and then I need to have all the values that are less than a negative 3. Okay, so this gets a little tricky on the negative side. If I put a negative 2 here, a negative 2 is actually bigger than a negative 3 because it's to the right of a negative 3 on the number line. Okay, so I'm going to try negative 4. If I put a negative 4 here into this inequality, that does work. Negative 4 is smaller than a negative 3, so my line is going to go to the left. Okay, please do not just think that it's always going to go the direction of like this symbol, because I can reverse the inequality and put the x or the variable on the right side, and that makes your line a little bit different. Okay, so let's look at this example. Let's say I have 7 is greater than or equal to x. So I know 7 is going to be a solution, so I'm going to put a closed circle. And then I need all of my x values to be less than, we've already got the equal part, less than 7. So my line is not going to go to the right. 6 is less than 7. 5 is less than 7. So my line is going to go to the left. Okay, going to the left. 8, 9, 10, those would not work. Okay, the last one, what about 0 is less than y? So 0 is where I'm going to start. It's going to be open because if I put a 0 here for y, that does not work. 0 is not less than 0. It's the same. So 0 is not a solution. So I have to leave my circle open. Okay, and it's going to be all of the numbers that are smaller than 0. Okay, yeah, so we're going to have negative 1. Does that work? So let's try that here. Nope. I need my y values to be larger. Okay, so I'm going to erase that. And I'm going to try a 1. Is 1 larger than 0? Yes. Is 2? Yes. So my line is going to go this direction. That's a bad arrow, but there you go.